There, you got it.
No, this is the agenda. It's
No.
not the opening.
Oh,
There it is.
The opening's at the top.
Andre,
That's minutes.
Yep, that's the right one.
and
Read it all.
at the beginning of the meeting.
Yes, that's what you will open that
Oh,
one.
yeah, it's the opening.
Yeah, it's the
Okay.
opening, but you read the whole paragraph that is there.
Okay.
Okay?
Oh, my. And that's the spare. We'll screw this up somehow.
We're good to go. It's 7:00.
7:00.
Okay. I'd like to call the meeting to order and welcome everybody to our meeting this evening. Moved by Councillor Featherstone, second by Councillor Clark, that this meeting be open at 7 p.m. and that the agenda be approved with the addition of the letter from Mr. J. Hone requesting the closure of the trail called Georges Road on his property as it relates to the agenda item number 10-4. All in favor? Carried. Moved by Councillor Clark, seconded by Councillor Corbett, that the minutes of the regular meeting of council held July 11th, 2023 be adopted as circulated. Any comments or questions? Carried.
You forgot to ask if anybody was in favor.
Everybody in favor?
It's already carried.
Yep. That's done. Any disclosure of pecuniary interest? I have to declare an interest.
Okay.
On 10.4. And the interest that I have is it's employer related is part of the item on the agenda. Any presentations and delegation?
None for this evening.
The minutes and reports from municipal committee and boards. Planning advisory.
We have not had a meeting, although it's been a very active season. So we have an upcoming meeting had to deal with a number of files, including tomorrow, and there's a committee of adjustments meeting tomorrow as well. So it's going to be active few weeks.
Very good. Fire department.
We're trying to figure out a meeting date that would appease everybody. We have had to move one because of scheduling. This goes there. Because of scheduling. So we're in the middle of trying to find a date within the next couple of weeks that we can get one in for fire department.
Thank you. Recreation and fitness.
The next one is August 14th. We also, on the same evening, have our first meeting for the municipal alcohol policy review.
Okay, thank you. Library.
We are having our next meeting in September.
General government. No meeting. Police services board, no meeting. Although we did meet today with East Ferris and Chisholm, the township of Chisholm. And just to speak, because we hadn't been represented at the meetings, and I guess what it looks like once the structure of the boards, police services boards have been I think they're making those changes and maybe the end of 2024. And it looks like maybe they're suggesting that we will go the other direction with Matawan and Calvin. But nothing has been established yet, but we just met with the other mayors just to find out what where we are going with, on the boards when they reduce the number of boards. So there's nothing decided yet. And the province is already working on changing the Police Services Act and the regulations, and they have to get all of their ducks in order before they can come to the boards to make any changes there. And emergency management, no meeting. And public works. We have some motions here for public works. And I don't know if I should ask the question before or after after these motions, but I'm asking someone tonight to speak to the issues around the splash pad. And I think that our best person to ask would be our public works manager. So do you have any other report after this? And I could go ahead with the resolutions, or do you?
I could speak briefly now to it since I've been called upon.
You can, okay.
So we're having an issue with when the splash pad isn't being used, there's iron building up in the water. So then when the splash pad gets used, the iron comes with the water onto the splash pad. We power washed it on Friday, but as soon as that first use comes back after sitting for a while, it comes back and it holds in the resins that are on the splash pad floor. I have reached out to a company that deals with water filtration to see what kind of plan we can come up with to rectify that issue. It's very common in our municipality that there is high iron content in our water. It wasn't a foreseen item due to it's not what was checked in our health unit's water sampling. So the sampling is, the water is potable, the water is fine. It's just that that particular test doesn't really open up to look for iron content, those kind of items. So we'll see what happens. Perhaps I will know by the end of the week for our meeting with Public Works on August 3rd.
And the issue of the geese, and I think that's something that you could almost predict. We're in their habitat. So that really seems to be a big issue with the people. And I don't blame them, because I don't think I'd want my children in there with the mess that's there. Is there no way that we could put something around that splash pad? That is there some kind of a little fence or with gates that they could go through? I don't know how you will resolve that, because the geese are all over, and I know that it is really a big issue. But I think also people are saying, well, Calendar is fine, but the geese are all there too, so they have to be doing the same thing they're doing here. So I just wonder how we can resolve that, being as where it's located. And I think the geese are naturally there. That's where they've always been. How can we resolve the issue of the mess on the splash pad?
And I think, you cannot compare our splash pad to Calendar's. They're on city water. This is rural well water. So, I mean, people that compare our splash pad to Calendar, you can't. It's apples and oranges.
But there are geese out there.
Oh, no,
as
the
well.
geese are one thing, but I mean, there was a lot of comments about the water. I mean,
Yeah.
And Calendar, well, they have a water treatment plant. We don't.
Yeah, and I understand the water, because we can't drink the water here neither. And so I understand that, but my main concern is, how do we keep it a little bit clean or acceptable to the people to go on it? That's my concern.
I would like to add that I could reach out to the health unit. They're very good at answering our questions when they came to inspect the pad. They were good at giving us the information we needed to make sure we were able to open. I'll also mention to the public that there's a little QPR code. When you walk up into the splash pad, you can go onto that QPR code with your phone and it shows you our inspection records. So I would have to reach out to the health unit just because I'm not sure if putting a fence around close or farther away would rectify the issue, because geese can't fly for about 8 weeks in the summertime. They don't have the feathers to do so. That's why they don't take off. But the fence, I would have to reach out to them just to make sure there's no trip hazards or no issues as such with a fence being put around that. So that would be an item we could consider, and I could get back to the Public Works Committee perhaps with that item. As for the geese, we can clean it up, but they're back like as soon as we walk away, right? So it is a difficult situation. We did talk about like kind of maybe putting some signage, because we have tried everything.
The geese can read.
That's good.
We've had like dogs, fake dogs down there that's fun on
Yeah,
sticks. We've had, I did look on Amazon, there is a certain type of pellet you can throw out there that they don't like. However, they always come back to roost. They nest where they're familiar, right?
Well,
So-
then, if all else fails, then could we bring a staff in to clean that in the mornings, or
It is
Uh,
cleaned in
every
the
day,
morning.
do they
but
come?
by Lunchtime,
Yeah.
it's coated again if nobody's around to keep them away.
and they clean it every day?
Yeah,
Okay, well,
like the dock, all of that area as well, the walkways, I actually have personally shoveled the dock off, and I mean shoveled, on a Friday night at 5 o'clock, and my neighbor, because he's my neighbor, complained to me about it by 7:30 the next morning, that it was coated again. So it is a hard thing.
Sorry, can you, I think I misunderstood. Can you tell me who you have to consult with about putting a fence around?
It would have to be the health unit. They're the ones that regulate our splash pad. So I would like to consult with them first if it came to a fence. Maybe there would have to be distance that you would require from the area, a height, et cetera, just to ensure the safety of the kids, right? The children.
Right.
okay, there's one more question. The outer edge of the splash pad, and it's very wet in there, and they're complaining about the smell in that area too. Is that coming from the water?
That'll come out of the ground. Like honestly, we're building our waterfront on a swamp that's been backfilled from years ago, etc. So that, like even like in the spring when the water runs across the paved area, it has like a petroleum look to it. That's actually the iron that's in the groundwater, in our water that surfaces. So that smell is like that
I think,
swampy area.
I think if you rectify the drainage issue,
Mhm.
you'll fix the smell, a
Yeah,
lot of the smell problem.
Yeah,
And can we get an update on the sloping and the drainage issue?
I don't have a date as of yet. They did say they would shut it down for a week and then redo that outer edge and concrete, attach it all into the drainage system that already exists
At no cost to the.
at no
township.
cost. Yes,
With warranty.
it is. Yeah, that's why they're coming back.
No, but on the new section,
thank you.
You're welcome.
Did you have another question?
Nope, thank you.
No, okay. I'll go through the motions now, okay? Moved by Counselor Corbett, second by Counselor Featherstone. Whereas the Public Works Committee has reviewed options for road work for the 2023 capital budget, and whereas the Public Works Committee recommends to Council to add the projects discussed to the capital budget for council deliberation. Be it hereby resolved that council approves of this recommendation. Any questions? All in favor? Carry. Moved by Counselor Featherstone, moved by Counselor, seconded by Counselor McGinnis. Whereas the Public Works Committee recommends to council to present information for budget purposes for the purchase of a columbarium in 2024 for the Mount Pleasant Cemetery. And whereas the Public Works Manager will alert council if an opportunity to receive funding shall arise in the interim, be it hereby resolved that council approves of this recommendation. Any questions? All in favor? Carried. Moved by Counselor Featherstone, seconded by Counselor Clark. Whereas the Public Works Committee recommends to council that the soft opening to move to a clear bag system will end on September 30th, 2023. And whereas bylaw number 2023-27, being a bylaw to govern the management of waste and recycling under the jurisdiction of the Corporation of the Township of Bonfield, shall be in full compliance thereafter. Be it hereby resolved, the council approves of this recommendation. Any questions? All,
I just have one question just about the report that was sent. It says that the fee to place an opaque bag. So can we change that to any bag that's not transparent?
It's just in the report, Counselor. It's
Okay.
not in the actual bylaw.
Okay, so that's good
Right.
because I think opaque, because you're allowed one opaque bag, right? So that was just confusing
For sure.
in the report. Okay, but if it's not anywhere else, then that's fine.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
okay. All in favor? Carried. Reports from non-municipal committees and boards. FINOM, North Bay Mattawa Conservation Authority.
Our next meeting is August 16th.
Thank you. Council Home? Nothing. Bonfield Nonprofit Seniors Housing.
Yes, so our seniors board is meeting on Thursday. We have a meeting this Thursday, and still scheduled. People will be moving in September 1st. They've already booked their time. It's going to be a phased move-in, very exciting. And then there was a call with MPP Fideli. I think that you were on, Mayor Paquette. So if you maybe want to talk about that.
They did discuss looking to see if there was any funding from the province, because it's been all a mortgage. It's all
Only funded by
funds
us.
only.
yes.
Yeah, that's it. There's no funding, no provincial funding. And this is to finish off the second phase. He suggested Northern Ontario Heritage. There was a few suggestions, but
I think we've applied to Trillium, right? So we've
Yeah.
applied to Trillium for funding, so we're waiting to hear back from that. But yeah,
not for sure anything.
no, not, he wasn't super helpful, which, but I guess we weren't sure what to expect. So,
Yeah, that was what my feeling as well. It didn't seem to be too positive, even though we've said it's all financing. We've like for the housing, there's been no funding, no assistance, although the Caisse Populaire has come on board and has been very helpful to that project. And I guess we have to reach out to the secretary who never gave up. And I think it's just great to see that coming to people moving in there. It's good for our community. Any notice of motions?
None for this meeting?
Introduction and consideration of bylaws. First, second, and third readings of bylaw 2023-31, being a bylaw to establish tax ratios for the year 2023. Moved by Councillor Clark, seconded by Councillor Corbett. Whereas council deems it expedient to pass 3 readings of the following bylaw at this session, be it hereby resolved that a bylaw for establishing tax ratios for the year 2023 be read a first, second, and third time, passed and numbered 2023-31, and that the said bylaw be signed by the mayor and clerk, sealed with the seal of the corporation, and be engrossed in the bylaw book, and that this bylaw be placed on the municipal website for public information purposes. Any questions? All in favor? Carried. Yes. Moved by Councillor Featherstone, seconded by Councillor Corbett. Whereas council deems it expedient to pass 3 readings of the following bylaw at this session, be it hereby resolved that a bylaw to adopt the 2023 operating budget, including estimates of all sums required for the purposes of the municipality during the year 2023, and to establish the tax ratio to be, or the tax rates to be levied, be read a first, second, and third time, passed and numbered 2023-32, and that the said bylaw be signed by the mayor and clerk, sealed with the seal of the corporation, and be engrossed in the bylaw book, and that this bylaw be placed on the municipal website for public information purposes. Any questions? All in favor? Carried.
Sorry, just-
Here's 2 copies.
yeah, okay.
You thought I was signing to, yeah.
Well, I wasn't sure.
You should have 4 signatures there.
She does.
And I must say to council, we're all very happy. I'm sure you can say the same thing, that we've struck our budget, we can move forward, we can start working and wait till next year again. to start all over again.
It's not really next year anymore.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we're on the disbursement. Moved by Councillor Corbett, seconded by Councillor Clark. The council approved the general accounts for the township of Bonnfield as indicated in the disbursement report dated July 25th, 2023, in the amount of $103,420.32. Any questions? All in favor? Carried. Correspondence and information, support and resolution. And this is for the capital budget. Moved by Councillor Clark, seconded by Councillor Featherstone, that the 2023 capital expenditures budget be approved as presented to council as per attached. All in favor? Any question? All in favor? Thank you. Carried. The next one, it's municipality of Wawa maintaining OHIP coverage for pain management. There is a resolution and for support. Moved by Councillor Corbett, second by Councillor Clark, that the Township of Bonfield supports the municipality of Wawa and requesting that the Government of Ontario maintain OHIP coverage for chronic pain treatments and continue to provide much needed care for the people of Ontario, and that a copy of this resolution be forwarded to all municipalities of Ontario, local MP and MPPs, Premier Doug Ford, the Minister of Health, Associate Minister of Mental Health and Addictions, and the Association of Municipalities of Ontario. Any question? All in favor? Carried. Next, we have a report from our deputy clerk, read the Bonfield Municipal Energy Plan, and we have a motion. Moved by Councillor Featherstone, seconded by Councillor McGuinness. Whereas in 2021, a grant was received to develop a municipal energy plan, and whereas the contract was awarded to J.L. Richards, and whereas the energy plan was completed in 2021 but not received by council, it hereby resolved that council accepts the municipal energy plan as prepared, and that a copy be sent to the Ministry of Environment and Climate Control to close the funding file, and that this report be posted on the website. Any question? All in favor? Carried.
Yeah, it was.
Thank you.
Yeah, this was just unfinished business from the last council.
that was
That's
very
all
good.
this was, yeah.
The next one, I'm leaving.
Yes.
Okay. Okey-dokey. So 10.4, Beth and Don Scott and Jamie Hone. So we have a motion moved by Councillor Featherstone, seconded by Councillor McGuinness. Whereas a request has been submitted by Beth and Don Scott and Jamie Hone regarding the closure of a trail through their property once referred to as George's Road. And whereas the township is not the owner of the land, therefore the Council of the Township of Bonfield requests that staff research the steps needed to proceed with the closure of the trail. Any questions or comments? All in favor? Carried.
Okay, that was short and sweet.
The next one is the sale of surplus equipment. We have a motion for that. Moved by Councillor Featherstone, second by Councillor Clark. Whereas the Public Works Manager recommends to Council that the 2007 Case Grader, 2007 GMC Top Kick with appurtenances and 1982 International Harvest Tractor be deemed surplus, and that the items be sold by auction on governmentdeals.com. Be it hereby resolved that council approves of this recommendation. Any questions? All in favor? The next is information, the update on housing needs and homelessness studies. Request for proposal through DSAB. Any questions or comments?
It's just DSAB doing some studies and they've closed their RFPs. So it's two studies that they're doing. I mean, hopefully we'll get some good information. They've awarded proponents.
Well, it's sure long overdue
Mhm.
because people can't find a place to live. It's something has to give somewhere. They have to find something to provide homes for people, and not like when you say homeless, but there's people moving with their families because they can't get an apartment. People have to be moved. They are moving out of their places, and I think there's a real crisis there. And I do feel that somebody should do something, and DSAB would be the first one.
So I 100% agree. They have done pit counts or point in time counts in the past few years to try and track how many homeless are in and around the city of North Bay. Harder to track on outlying areas. They are partially successful. I mean, there's some question about the philosophy used in doing the pit count and how they're getting those numbers, but without a basis to start, it's hard to measure any success. So we're trying to hold ourselves accountable to any KPIs that are key performance indicators that we can do. But as a system, I think what we've all noticed is it's getting worse. We're not able to keep up with the growing rate of homelessness within our communities. So whatever systems we're working with now aren't working. So you have to start somewhere, and we're going to have to change something within the system, and that's bigger than any municipal government, that's for sure. Really, the rest probably provincially at the least, and probably more federally. And I'm hopeful that through counts like these and the growing increases that are going to be seen, that other levels of government are going to be forced into some action. And this is the place to start doing that. So this is good.
Yes, I'm just a comment that when I go into work in the morning and you find 3 people sleeping on the doorstep, and you think, is this really Canada? Is this people there, one on the parking lot sleeping on a cardboard, a big piece of cardboard, and you can't go into work because you're not that sure of whether you should go past the people there. So it's time that something's done, that's for sure. Next, we have a letter of support for permanency of the Rural Northern Immigration Pilot Project. Is there a motion for that, or is there?
There is not. I wasn't sure if council wanted to support this or not. There is a sample letter.
I'd like
I would
it.
like
Yeah,
to
I mean,
support
that's
this.
what I
Yes.
Okay,
think, yeah.
so
Yes.
we can look at tomorrow and filling out the support letter and
Okay.
sending it off.
That's great.
Okay.
Yeah.
We don't need a resolution, no. New business? Nothing. Next, we have a closed session, so we have to go in camera.
Yes, so I will end the recording